One word, he's such a delightful.
Yeah.
Like the minute you see him, he's all smiles. He's such like he'll be looking around. He's such a delight.
Yeah. Carole, the chartered accountant. How does it feel hearing me say that?
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you. Not doing well, don't know where you are, 'cause you're not here. It's been way too long. If I could lay down beside you, I would. When nothing really matters, that's all I wanna do. I hope that you are safe and
Welcome to the first ever episode of Faith & Co. I cannot believe that I'm saying this, and it can only be faith that has brought us here. So this is a baby that I have been planning and dreaming about for the longest time, and I thank God that I've had the courage to start. So this is the first episode of Faith & Co. And Faith & Co. is basically me sitting down with a couple of people, having conversations on faith and their different life journeys. So I pray that this will touch your life and this will touch the lives of those around you when you share it with others. Be sure to be subscribed to this channel so that you don't miss out on any episode that is coming up. I am praying to God that everything that I have prayed about and everything that I have dreamt about and everything that I have planned on will come to pass through this new segment. And on this episode we have a special guest, the first ever guest on Faith & Co, and I hope that you enjoy. So guys, today I'm with someone very special. Her name is Carole Ndori. Carole Ndori is a Jesus girl. She's a wife, a mom, a chartered accountant, an entrepreneur. She has a beauty spa called Carole, and she is a speaker, a YouTuber, and also is a founding leader of an NGO called Among Girls.
Yeah.
Wow. She does all of that. How? It could only be faith, right?
Right.
Hence we're here.
Yeah.
So welcome to Faith & Co. And we're going to just dig in and have a conversation with Carole, hear how her faith journey is, and just get to, share with one another our faith journey.
Yeah.
Yes. So Carole, tell me, what is faith to you?
Yeah. Firstly, thank you for having me. I'm very excited to have this talk. When you first approached me, I had to ask myself, and I said, faith. I think there's a lot to say about faith. But the first and foremost thing that I can say is that I cannot even imagine my life without faith. Actually, I had a conversation the other day with someone, and I said, someone who says they're an atheist. They don't believe in God. And I said, I can only imagine living a life where you don't have to believe in a supernatural being, like where you don't believe that there's a creator out there, or there's a power or a force much more powerful than what we see here on earth. I can imagine, I could not.
I know.
I could not survive, feeling like there's not a higher power out there looking out for me.
Because that feels like the core of our lives.
Exactly. So I think faith for me is everything. It's my life. Faith for me is seeing where God took me to where I am today. I might not be where I ideally want to be, but seeing where He took me from, and seeing how believing in Him and believing that I'm His favorite child, seeing how that has worked for me to get me where I am right now.
Yeah.
So faith basically is my life. Faith is the hope of things that I do not know, things that I have not seen, things that I keep on believing in, yet they're not tangible things.
True.
So I think it's bigger. It's bigger than we can ever understand or fathom.
Yeah.
So faith is something that I can't even measure and say it's 1, 2, 3. It's a lot of things for me. Firstly, it's hope. Secondly, it's believing. Thirdly, it's something beyond me. I can never give God enough faith, because I don't even think I can never do
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
We're too small for that.
Exactly. So, but basically, faith is something that I live by day to day, every week. Every
100.
month. Yeah.
So did you grow up in a Christian home?
I did. But I feel like this one is a complicated answer because I usually don't want to say I'm a Christian today because I grew up in a Christian home. I still
100.
very much, because my grandmother, God bless her, she introduced us to Christ. When growing up, she was going to church, but in a if you know those, right? So those are really about religion and just, the do's and don'ts and it's
I get you. It's Christianity as a religion, but not as a personal journey.
Relation, exactly.
Yes.
You literally summed it up.
Which leads me to my next question. So when did you find God for yourself?
Yeah. So because I had been a church girl all my life, like as a young girl, I used to go with my grandmother to church, and then I had to move somewhere to live with my aunt, and when I was there, they were not like church people. So now because it was in my bone, for every Sunday we go to church, so I had to find somewhere to go, and I would still go there, and I don't think I had met Christ at that time. And then I was doing stand up 2, 3, 4 at that village, and then I had to move from there back to where everyone else was. When I got there, I think I was really sad because I grew up in a poor background, right? But I was like one of those smartest kids in class or in school.
It shows. Your life shows.
Thank you. So when I moved to my aunt was a police officer, right? So Nikin Nagai go police
camp.
Police camp, right. So baba nanko police camp, there's like a certain way no. Like for once I felt like my background does not have to define me. So it was sort of an escape. All I had to do when I was there, I was like focusing on just school and just being, one of those 8 girls baba nanko police camp, and I just got, as I remember, I had a friend nearly caught police camp and stuff. So when I had to go back to the village now to just be like everyone else, or like no
ordinary.
So it crunched me because it had been 3 years. I was there before, and then I went to my aunt, and then I left there for 3 years, and I had to go back. So I think in a way I was in a bad. Now thinking about it, I was a child. I mean, I was 10 years old, but thinking about it, I think I was in a bad state at the time. So one day I was just there. I was doing stand-up 5. I was just there being, and there's a evangelist who just came by and preached the gospel. And the minute they came in, my grandmother was telling them, no, now we are born again Christians. And I said, Mama, let them talk. Mama. I said, Mama, let them talk. Somehow I think my spirit was telling me at 10 years.
Wow.
I'm telling you. So I think my spirit somehow was telling me, hello, I need to hear them out. And I heard them out, and they're coming in from a Pentecostal church, and they were preaching more than anything spirituality, having a personal relationship with God. And I could see that I liked this thing. Sure, I know there's a God in heaven. Sure, I sing, I pray and all, but I lacked that you are my father relationship. You are my friend. So I listened to them. They invited me to church on Sunday. That very Sunday, I gave my life to Christ, and I never turned back.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
When I asked Carole to come on the show, I thought of this. So this is Faith and Co. What do I want from Carole? Do I want to talk marriage? Do I want to talk motherhood? Do I want to talk entrepreneurship? Or do I want to talk accounting and career? Because she's all of that. And I couldn't choose one because she's literally all of that. And that would be, we would be literally taking only a small piece of who she is. And that's unfair because we want to share all of you.
Right.
I hope that's not us being selfish.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to share.
So let's start with faith and being a wife. Yes, faith and marriage. So what does faith look like in your marriage? Yes, or your relationship as a whole from before you got married to now?
I'm a storyteller. I hope you don't mind.
We love that.
So I always want to bring stories so that I give it a bit of context and flash.
I think the main thing, the main thing that I want people to get out of these episodes is that we share our stories, our real stories, and iron sharpens iron,
Right.
and
Absolutely.
our faith journey helps the next person
Right.
to overcome whatever that they are in life, or
Yeah.
whatever they may be going through, because someone else is looking and saying, oh, when will I ever get this?
Right.
And they don't know that things don't just come, and you need to have faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely love that. So faith and marriage, like for me, before even getting to the marriage part, I had to exercise faith in my relationship. I share a lot on my celibacy journey. I don't know if you've heard before, but
Oh, I've
like I know I've shared the story a couple of times.
By the way, if you are not subscribed to Carole's channel, you have to go and do that.
Yeah.
You will get so much more of this from her channel.
Right.
I'll tag it below and I'll add it somewhere.
Thank you.
Yes.
Join the family, guys.
Yes.
Right. So I talk a lot about my celibacy journey. So, when I met OG, my husband, we were, both virgins, and we had never had any sexual interactions with people before, and we decided we want to keep it that way until we got married. So we kept it that way until we got married in 2017. I was 24 at the time, and he was 25. So we literally had our first night after marriage. I remember my faith, or our faith, being tested like all the time.
Yeah.
Particularly
Definitely.
there's this one time when I was in a bus traveling to Francistown, and this gentleman, we had ended up having a conversation, and we ended up talking about this, and he said, "That's so risky though, guys. How what if you just get married
The
and
devil
then
will test you.
and then it doesn't work out, like there's no spark, there's no sexual like attraction, because you can be physically attracted to someone because of how they look or how they converse with you and stuff like that." So the person was like, it's just way too risky. So I think for me, that was like at the core of our relationship, that's one of the things that was testing our faith, because we had to say, because our love stories from like way back from high school, even though we were not dating in high school, but we loved each other and had a crush on each other then, but we only got to date later. So, but anyway, my issue was that at the time we just had to say, we have no idea what we are doing, but we're going to trust God. We don't believe that God can choose OG for me or choose me for OG, only for us to fail in marriage because we somehow don't have any sexual attraction. I just failed to understand it. So I kept on saying, nope, that's not going to be my story.
Yeah.
So faith in marriage, I have seen, just even getting married at a young age for us was like us saying we had from God that this is the time. And I remember uncles and everybody else asking, are you guys ready? Because I was 24, he was 25. And we just said we are. So this was us saying that we believe that God has called us for a greater purpose, as a couple. We're not meant to just be boyfriend and girlfriend. We're called for more.
I think the thing about faith is that you don't know what's on the other side. And so much of us being smart, we want to know what's on the other side. And that's how our faith gets tested.
Absolutely.
And you get to really practice your faith when you just leave it to God. You're just like, you know what, I don't know what's on the other side, but I'm going to trust you. And I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do what you're saying I should do at this time.
Absolutely. And it's scary still, I would admit, but the Bible even says that faith is the hope of things unseen, things that like we have not heard of, a being that we have not seen before, yet we believe in him. So but even after getting married, there's a lot of times where we had to exercise faith, where we had to say, I know that in couples the dynamics, we obviously have maybe, let's say, a risk taker and one is maybe a risk averse person. So where now you have to talk financial decisions, one is thinking, are you crazy? The other one is like, trust me. So I think we've had to do that to say, God brought us together for a reason, and if this is what God has laid in your heart. I remember when I told my husband that I want to go back to school so I can start my chartering journey. This was in 2018. When we got married in 2017, we said we're going to wait 2 to 3 years to have a baby. So we're going to have a baby maybe 2019, 2020. So I started school in 2018. And in my opinion, I was like, I can still do it all. Like I had this thing where I feel like I can do it all at the same time. I can be pregnant and study at the same time. So when the time came and I realized how difficult my course was, and I was just telling my husband, I don't think we can have a baby now.
Yeah.
And at that time, he had to trust that God has really laid
The
something in my
perfect time
heart.
for you guys.
The perfect
Yes.
timing will come. And
Yes.
so we decided to wait. And everybody else was asking, you guys, when you have your baby, it's been 4 years.
Oh, African people.
And we just knew that this is our journey,
Yeah.
this is our faith journey.
There's a
with
time
God
and a purpose for everything.
right? So we decided, no, we wait until the perfect time. And I can assure you, our baby came at a perfect timing for both of us.
Wow.
Not just for me because I was done with school,
Yeah.
even for him.
Yeah.
I think he has become a better person over the years. You know, we're going 6 years now in marriage. So last year we're celebrating our 5th year anniversary, right? Yeah. 5th year. I'm just saying.
Congratulations. Look at that. Look at God.
You know, I mean, look at God.
Look at God.
Actually, I think it's also like a faith thing, because we were turning 5 years in marriage and 10 years in our relationship, because we got married in our on our 5th year anniversary. Yeah. So I think it was a big thing.
Yeah.
It really was a big thing, and we didn't even have huge plans to go out and have dinner. We just with our baby, we just took pictures at our home, had something to eat, and just reflecting on God. This is where we are.
This is
now.
how far you've brought us.
So I think in closing, I'll just say God has really been amazing in our relationship. I mean, it's not all roses and perfect all the time, even through trials, even through misunderstandings.
Yeah.
We see the face of God all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talking about your baby coming at the right time. How is baby CK?
He's great. He's such a delightful baby.
Yeah.
All smiles, even he's just smiling, he's happy, he's looking around, he's such a delight.
Yeah. So how's your faith journey looking like in terms of motherhood?
This one is like it will make me emotional because what a journey it's been, guys. It's been 4 months, we're going 5 months now, and I think I've seen the hand of God just by purely surrendering to him and just telling him, God, take over. I don't know what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing, but you wouldn't bring me this far to fail.
True.
So my faith journey, I think I've shared with you on a personal level before that, we planned to conceive. I think we planned around October, and we said in January we want to conceive so that by July when I write my exams, I'm 6 months. And then we
Such
can
a planner.
get there.
I love that.
I try, guys. I like my things organized. I think one thing about me, I want to mentally prepare for things.
True.
I don't like surprises.
True.
So that's why I like planning, so that at least I can anticipate things. So anyway, back to my story. So we had been praying since October. When January comes, we will conceive without any problems. Everything should go well. I was praying over the pregnancy, delivery, everything. So I laid the foundation, and it was very much rooted in God and in faith. So my pregnancy journey was so great. It was blissful. We talked about this on our channel.
Yeah.
No issues, no morning sicknesses, no nothing. It was just great. Of course, fatigue, which is inevitable, but there was nothing of a major concern. Sure. Then my faith was tested. I wouldn't say my faith was tested though. I don't think it was a question of, God, where are you now?
Yeah.
It was a question of, but
we didn't agree on this.
We didn't agree on this.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get into labor. I was way past my due date with a couple of days, and eventually the doctor advised that we should induce labor. We tried to induce labor for almost 48 hours, and I still could not get into labor. And the first few hours, when the nurses would come and administer the medication to me, and they kept saying, "When I'm into labor," I was like, "Don't worry." I still had my faith. I had nothing to worry about. A friend of mine had said I should read a little bit on induction or whatever. But even as I was reading, I was not preparing for failure. I had read I think 1 to 10% of inductions failed, and I was like, I'm not gonna be the 1%.
Yeah, because you're God's favorite girl.
I am God's favorite girl. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get into labor, and eventually, I really want, if there's anything I prayed for, was 2 things during this pregnancy or motherhood journey. I said, God, 1, I want to have a natural delivery.
Yeah.
Number 2, I want to be able to breastfeed, and I didn't get both.
Yeah. Oof. I can imagine the frustration. Because it feels like you're out of it's not in your control.
It's not.
It feels like
Yeah.
you are letting the baby down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And actually, this one makes me very emotional because I don't know. I don't want to blab too much because obviously we're talking about my faith journey. But I remember there was a time I was posting Herbalife products and I was saying that I'm about to start shedding off the weight. And someone was like, "This isn't good for breastfeeding moms." And I was like, "You didn't even ask me if I'm breastfeeding.
Yeah.
You just outright assumed that
I'm
am.
breastfeeding."
And of course, I had planned for it. I bought like my double breast pump. You saw it. You know, something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think motherhood shows you the biggest faith test.
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
it's on another level. You
It's
are
on another
literally
level.
not in control.
Yeah, you're not
Because
in
it's
control.
another human being, another life.
Another life that looks up to you. That feels like mama has it all figured out. Meanwhile, I don't.
Meanwhile,
So starting hella then, you know, the delivery journey, I didn't get the delivery plan
that you
I
wanted.
So we ended up having to do an emergency C-section, and when they did that, they found that the baby had the umbilical cord wrapped around his neck twice, not once. And the doctor was like, had we tried to have a natural birth, we don't know what would have happened.
Yeah.
So that very moment, it just made me say, God, you have the plan here in the palm of your hand. It might not have been the plan that I had, but I'm just happy that whatever you planned for me when you knew me when I was still in my mother's womb was exactly what happened.
Yeah. And that you still had faith that he's still in control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you know that one thing about God is that he is not short-sighted.
Right.
God already sees the future.
Love
He
it.
already sees our past and then sees the present. And when he's doing something at the moment, sometimes we don't understand, but he's doing it because he already knows the future. He already knows what is unseen.
Absolutely.
He's seeing baby CK while he's in your womb. He already knew him. Yeah.
And he already knew how he's going to
Exactly. And he knew that he'd be playing around with the cord, wrapping him around the neck twice, you know. Yeah. So of course, this wasn't your plan, but God did it because He knew that the risk of you delivering naturally would probably be detrimental to your child's health.
Exactly. So I think that was like a big learning moment for me. Like you need to learn to surrender. Because I remember when the doctor came in and said, "Guys, I know you don't want C-section, but this is it. I think you guys should consider it." And at that moment, I just said, "God, I surrender to you."
Yeah.
My plan, forget about my plan, forget about everything, take over, take control. So I think that's been motherhood for me. Even when I breastfed for a month, and like even that month I had to, what's the word? I had to alternate with formula because I didn't have a production issue, but my baby was refusing to suck the boob, like so he wasn't eating well, so I had to then feed him with the bottle,
supplement him. So
it
but you know what, this does not take away from your greatness as a mother. Never for 1 second think that because you only breastfed for a month you're not a good mother. You are an amazing mother.
Yes. Of course, this one is just a complex issue. Of course, you go to the clinic to weigh your baby, and the nurses are ganging up on you and telling you, which now it's like, do you have any idea how much I want to do this thing? So it was also another test again to say you don't have to always want to prove yourself to anyone. You don't always 100%. Have to explain yourself all the time. Because when we decided that we are eventually gonna let go, it was me and my husband. And
all the people that matter.
All the people that matter were part of the conversation. Everyone else, I like how Brene puts it. Like anyone else that you'd have to point or maybe a meter apart, who's not in the arena also, should not matter.
They really don't.
So it was a very testing thing. Excuse me, it still is even right now, because you get to a point where you're like, you're wondering, God, am I doing enough for my baby? God, am I a mother enough for my baby? But every day you have a voice in your head telling you that. I said, trust me. Just trust and believe. I got you. I got your back.
Carole, the chartered accountant. How does it feel hearing me say that?
It feels like a dream come true.
Yeah.
It feels like something that the little Carole wanted.
Yeah.
And she finally got it.
Oh, I can imagine, because your journey has actually been quite long, right?
It has been.
And how was your faith then during this journey?
Sure. So let me just say something. I used to be like a top student back in junior school, whatever I get. And my reasons then for primary school was different. My mom had me when she was very young, and 2 years later, she was 14 when she had me. 2 years later, she had my sibling, and then she had my other sibling. So it's like we were 2 years apart, right? And
Oh, yes.
And growing up, it's not something that you want to be hearing all the time, because co-villaging, they don't filter anything. They don't care if you're a child or whatever. So I used to hear this a lot. So I wanted to change my mother's title, or my title. I worked so hard that I made everybody else say, oh, get back one in all, the present to school. Oh, get back one in all, the number one in the entire school. So that was my name in primary and junior school, you know. I was just working so hard, and the only reason I was working hard was just to change the narrative and to change the description. Right? And when I finally got that, I felt like I stopped working hard. So I went to senior school.
But you know what? I feel like on that point, it's very important to know that people don't define us.
Yeah, absolutely.
People can say whatever they say, but what they say about our lives
does not
define us because we are who God says we are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sorry to disturb you, but
no, it's fine. Right? Because I think at the time, like, looking back, I actually think, okay, no, I'm grateful that I had to go through that, because it sort of maybe made me work hard. But at the same time, I feel like I know better now. At the time, I was in so much pressure that no child should be put under. Anyway, moving on, from senior school now, I think I didn't have any reason to want to impress anyone. So I literally just worked hard, but not like aggressively. So that's the same with varsity. When I was at varsity, I was just about getting my GPA, at least if I cross over to the next semester. It wasn't about being a top something. Hey, what's that?
Yeah.
All we want is 50% so that we don't retake a course.
Yeah, I know. Get to the next part.
That was me in varsity, right? And then when I graduated, and this is like a student who is like, it's an A student. I'm an A student, but if now my A student thingy is I have to work hard. They still get A's without studying.
Yeah.
I'm not a genius. Now I need to work hard to get there. Yes. So I wasn't working that hard in UB. I was busy with a lot of things. Business, relationships, CU, it was so many things going on. So when we graduated now, Bobank of Botswana were coming in and selecting the top students.
Of course.
Corporates were coming in and selecting the top students to hire them. And I was like, why didn't anyone tell me? I could have worked so hard. But of course, I had myself to blame. But when I started my chattering journey, I had one request from God. I actually wrote a letter to him at the start. I said, God, it's not going to be about getting to the other side. I will excel. I will get into this course. And I remember at the time when I was getting into it, people were saying they're low graduates. And it's true. Like, few people graduate. You have 100 students joining maybe in a year or 2 years, I don't know. And then you have maybe 3 or 4 graduating. Ooh. It's a very complicated course. It's very, very tough. When I relate, in your field, you know tough things.
No, but I feel like yours is like
I think
chartered accountants are I think the creme de la creme of God.
I think doctors. I think you guys, because look at those books. You guys can't see them because they're not part of them. But so I told God that I'm gonna excel. And at the time I didn't say I want to be top student. No, I just said I want to excel. I want to pass. I want to be the head and not the tail. And the head might not look like number one.
Yes.
It might just look like making sure I complete. And God's promise has just been, the work that I've begun in you, I will bring it to completion.
Listens. If I tell you, God listens to every single thing we say.
You remember what she said earlier?
Yeah.
He's interested in the details.
In the
little details of our life.
True.
So there's this song. Actually, there are many songs that took me through my studying journey, guys. But I think towards the end, there was this song, Million Little Miracles. One of my little miracles, but not so little.
Yeah.
But finishing this was just a pure miracle from God. and also finishing, not just finishing,
Yeah.
finishing on record time, which is so rare
Mhm.
because people don't finish on the time set. It's a 4-year course. People end up by it's like about 5th, 5th, 6th year, and I finished it on record time. This is
And excellently.
This is within COVID as well.
Ooh.
Because of COVID, some other people had to add an additional year.
Yeah.
But not during the time where it was locked down. I made sure that I read and
Covered up.
That was
Yes.
my escape actually, and I still managed to finish. Everyone else I started with didn't finish on
That's
time.
impressive.
Because of the COVID thing. Obviously, it took a toll on a lot of people, including me. But I decided I'm gonna make studying.
And
my
this goes
escape.
back to what we talked about. You laid the foundation in prayer.
Man.
Look at God.
You see, as for this one, I take no credit. Of course, I would wake up early in the morning and read, and people would say, "Oh, you inspire me." Of course, but the same power that made me finish this course is the same power that made me wake up in the morning. Because it's not easy like that. As long as you work hard, some people work hard and they don't finish.
Yeah.
So I worked hard and I had God's backup. So I like I said, not only did I eventually finish, I finished on record time, and I finished as the best performing student in 3 different modules, which are so difficult. Like I remember when I was told that I topped on this other course. I was like, how? Guys, like how did I do that?
Yeah.
God did that.
It can only be God.
It can only be God.
Yeah.
So God has been, one of this one I'm so emotional. Like in all areas of my life, God has just been so
Faithful.
amazing, so faithful. Like, and I've seen the faith. I think purely believing that there's nothing impossible with God, and believing also that He said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God" in Matthew 6:33.
Yeah.
Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things
Shall be added unto you.
I have seen that be in my life. I had to seek His face and lay at His feet. One of my goals this year, and I kept telling people I meet, I say, if you can't find me, if you're looking around for me and can't find me, look for me at His feet.
At the feet of
You
Jesus.
will find me
Yeah.
at the feet of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is where all of us should be.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your journey really inspires me. I know we are like in totally different spaces,
Yeah.
but I'm still inspired.
Yeah.
I was actually watching your video. If you guys haven't watched it,
Go
we are
on.
watching you. Go and watch it.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah, about your journey, and I was I was motivated.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. It's funny
it had
how-
nothing to do with my career, but I
Right,
literally watched and I
exactly.
said, you know what?
I love how God puts us in spaces where we can inspire each other, because I sit here and you say you inspire me, and I'm just like, you have no idea.
Yeah,
You inspire me.
yeah,
Seeing you read at 12 a.m., 1 a.m.
Yeah.
in the morning, I'm just like, you're putting in the work,
Mm.
and it will pay off.
Mhm.
It will pay off.
Yeah.
Just you carry on, you put in
True.
the work, you lay the foundation, you sow a seed on the ground,
True.
and God
Yes.
is just, He will do it.
and He will just do it.
Mm.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Linda, my life, my academic life right now is hanging on God.
Yeah, purely on God.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We can't dig into all your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, would like to sit here
Otherwise,
the
we'll
whole
be
day.
here for 2 hours.
I know.
Actually, the whole day.
I want to be here the whole day just listening to her talk about her faith journey, but we don't have all that time.
Yeah.
So we'll touch on the last thing and we'll talk about your faith journey when it comes to entrepreneurship
Yeah.
as the CEO of Carole.
Yeah.
How's
Oh,
that?
Man, I think that has also been a delight in my life.
Let me ask you something. When did God sow a seed in your heart to have Carole? And when did He sow the seed? And then when did you finally open the business?
Interesting. I love the question.
Because I think that
Yeah,
has
I
a
love it.
lot to do with
The
faith.
story and the
Yes.
faith. So I had this idea planted in my heart in 2016. Right after varsity. I think after I finished Go UB GAT 2016. So then I was like trying to look within me, because of course we know
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But I was just like, if I were to start a business, what am I passionate about? And I knew I'm passionate about the beauty industry, and I think my mom also has influenced me because she's a beauty therapist. So I think I have I knew that this is one of the businesses that I'll have in 2016.
Yeah.
But I knew that it would require much more funding from me. So at the time, the business that I did was, it was called Carole Shoes.
Oh,
Still
I
same
know
name.
it.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think when I first met you, I saw it on Instagram.
On Instagram,
Yes.
yes. So I had Carole Shoes where I would order shoes online from China, and even in Joburg, sometimes I'd go there to just stock up and come here and sell. Just from the boot of my car. At the time, I didn't even have a car. What do I mean? But yeah, something like that. So that was Carole Shoes at the time because it was easy. I just needed a little bit of capital. So in 2017, there was an opportunity that came out for Miss Botswana Consumer Fair. It was saying that if you're passionate about pageantry and entrepreneurship, come, whoever wins, we're giving you a startup capital of 50,000 to start your business. That was 2017. So I decided to go on and join the pageant. So my proposal, because we were presenting our businesses to a couple of judges, you know,
Investors.
Investors.
Yeah.
So I did so well in the pageant, like not on the pageant night, not on the finale, but during the pageant. I did so well. My business was one of those great projects, and it was well thought, and I had put in the work. It was incredible. But unfortunately, I didn't win the pageant.
Yeah.
Which threw me off because I was just like banking on it. So I didn't get the fund, I didn't win the pageant. I only ended in top 5, which was a first also for me.
That's still a win.
Except for Miss Botswana, because Miss Botswana I ended in top 30 in 2016. So in the smaller pageants, I've always been number 2, number 1. I've never had to be on the top 5. I was like, what's going on? So I was like, God, no ways. So I didn't start my business then in 2017, but the business plan, everything was there. Eventually, I started the business, 5 years later, in 2022, which is last year, February. And the way it happened, in February 2021, I had already started the worksheet on Excel of planning everything from products, doing all the forecasts and everything, doing everything, like all the work on the ground. And I had no idea where I'm going to get the capital, but I was just like, I need another source of income. Not even just about the income. I'm a busybody. I like to have my mind there and there.
And this is something you like.
Yes, and it excites me to do things that I'm passionate about. So I decided in 2021 that I'm going to start working on this thing. So I started working on it, doing the work, research, because things are different now. 2017 compared to 2021.
Yeah.
So you need to be up
The
to
beauty
date.
industry has changed dramatically.
Exactly. So I needed to do the work again. Then fast forward to November 2021, I changed jobs, and this was not part of the plan. It was something that I had to do for my career because I had to go into a certain kind of firm for me to get my hours, to qualify as a CA, all of that drama. So I had to leave my job, and it was a bittersweet moment because sweet in the sense that of course I'm gonna go work for my hours, because I've done the work in terms of the exams, but bitter in the sense that I didn't want to leave the company at the time. The company also didn't want me to go, so it was like a whole situation. So eventually, when I leave my job, of course there's like a severance pay, like a gratuity that you get for okay, you've worked for the company for 4.5 years now. So I decided with my husband, we were like, let's just take a crazy step and just take the money and all of it and just put it into this business. It was risky.
Yeah.
It was like
that's what faith is about.
It is. It is. So we were just like, we had no idea what's gonna happen. But I think, like he constantly gives us wisdom to say that I will guide and lead you. So he was like, start small, start with a nail bar, expand later on to massages, facials and whatever. But for now, just start with something that you can manage more so that you have a 9 to 5. So I started my business then, and I remember last year there's a time that I asked God, because business, especially our line of business, in the beginning it's like you're just breaking even, just breaking even, and you're like, so there was one point I was like, God, I need a sign. And man, did he not bring the sign. He did. He definitely did. So right now, without a doubt, I can tell you that this is a brand that will continue to grow. This is a brand that we will continue to just build. We're still in the building stage, but I believe that very soon we'll talk and sit here again, and I'll tell you that I'm seeing the fruits of our labor. But it has just been a delight, having to build something from scratch and seeing people support it. Even the people that you never thought would wanna support you, not because they hate you or anything. No, I don't operate like that. But maybe because they don't know you, know. But I've seen people say, "Hi, I usually do my nails for so and so, but I really wanna come and support you." I'm like, sis, thank you.
Yeah.
So I've seen the hand of God. You know, they've never went a month by without having money to pay our bills or customers. So it's just been growth, and I'm just grateful to God. So I think the most important thing here that I'm trying to say to our viewers is that in most cases we have a lot of what ifs, but the one thing we're certain about is that there is a God in heaven.
Exactly.
The one thing we're certain about is that God said He has started the work in us and He will bring it to completion. Be it your marriage, your business, your career, anything that be. There is nothing impossible with God.
He's a present God.
He is. He's, I can't even, I know. He's just been. But of course, we need to exercise our faith. We need to get out there. A lot of us are waiting for things to happen.
To us, yes. But we're sitting at home. Yeah.
At home. So we need to get out
faith
there.
Faith is an action word.
It says faith without works
is dead.
So I think that not for me, that is it. Like, that's why I say faith is my whole life, because without faith then I don't know what I would be, because of course I don't like sitting down on my hands. So I think that's just my journey.
My heart is so full. Honestly, my heart is so full. I loved this conversation so much. I
hope you did.
I think my faith has been strengthened from just listening to your faith journey over all aspects of your life, and I'm hoping that everyone who listened in also is touched by the stories that we've shared, and our faith has been strengthened, and we are sharpening each other in our journeys, because we know that life is hard. Adulting is hard, but with God we can manage. We can do it. Anything that God has placed in our lives, He will surely supply for it, and He will surely be with us for it. He will provide and He will protect us. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I am so grateful. And as my first guest,
I loved it.
I enjoyed, and this will be the first of many.
It will be. I hope so. I just wanted to also just say, congratulations on doing this. This is the hard work. This is the faith that we're talking about.
Yes.
So I loved being here. It was a great conversation, and I can't wait to see what this channel and what our viewers take away from this. It's going to be incredible. Well done.
Thank you. Wow, this was so awesome. Thank you to everyone who has made it this far into the video. And thank you to Carole, who came and graced us with her presence and shared her stories with us. And I hope that it has impacted someone's life out there. And I pray that you may also share it with other people, so that it may be an encouragement to someone out there in your life, either your friends or your family. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and I have so much more in store in terms of Faith & Co, and I pray that you may be part of the journey. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel so that you don't miss out, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also share with your family and friends. Till next time, see you, bye.